everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show today for the Winchesters, Episode 2. It's a spoiler review. And joining me, of course, as always, to my side, he's small, he's green, he is my dean, he is Froggy.
I like how you're so narcissist. You have to introduce everybody every single freaking episode. Hi, I'm Puppetine. Like they don't freaking know.
Everybody's video can be their first video, so you never know, Froggy.
Dear God, why?
It's just how the world works.
This is your first time watching one of our reviews live. God rest your soul.
Okay. So, The Winchesters, the supernatural prequel, it has its second episode, and I'm not sure what I was expecting. Like, we obviously get the sneak peek of the monster of the week, and then we dig into the action of it, but it's, Supernatural Season 1 and The Winchesters, I suspect, will have an incredibly similar pattern.
I want to point out something I noticed about this show so far, 2 episodes in. Rewatching the first season of Supernatural, you notice that Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki had immediately from the get-go had an on-screen chemistry that just built on more and more as they went through. The actors and playing playing Mary and John, they're kind of there. It's not there. It's like I said, it's not forced, but it's not too bad. But if you're a fan of Supernatural and you just watch the first season for the first time, and then you're trying to watch this too, I don't know why you would. It's kind of weird. You should watch this, then watch that.
No, I think it makes sense to watch Supernatural first.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, my point is, you won't really notice it unless you actually went back and watched the season, the chemistry. They're a little bit off, but I do like the fact that we pretty much got Cisco 2.0 on this show. Yes, if you're a fan of the Flash, Cisco was the idea guy. He was the one that's a comedian. That's Carlos. Carlos is Cisco.
Is anyone still a fan of the Flash, Froggy?
Yes. There's many people that are fans of the Flash ending. Yes. No, but anyway,
let's talk about this show. So
that's what I was trying to do.
All right, sorry. We actually do get a quick opening with Mary and John and the team, Carlos and Latika. I'm not sure. Lottie. They call her Lottie, so we're going to call her Lottie.
You call her Lottie. I'm not going to call her Latika. That sounds like the other actress. Latifah.
Queen Latifah? Oh, no.
I call her Queen Latika. No,
Anyway, we actually do get them not breaking in, but going to this warehouse, this men's of letters warehouse, and there are zombies all over the place.
Zombies,
yes. It's actually very cool. It's the reason why I made it the thumbnail, because they are gruesome looking, Walking Dead style.
It was really creepy. These zombies are playing dead.
Yes,
they were, because until one of them leaped from the rafters, and then they got jumped by a bunch of them. It almost looked like they were in a hideout that was basically the Men of Letters or something like that. Some kind of
what I just said.
Yes, I know. I'm agreeing with you on that, because at first I wasn't sure what I was looking at, because most shows will just be like, oh, this is a random place, But they were taken out. They're on the trail of I keep wanting to call it Sayer Sam, but it's Mary's father, Samuel.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, Samuel Kent will be, the actor. It's Tom Welling when they finally show him. But that probably won't be later to the end of the season. But I gotta say, though, really cool to have that guy on there. Much respect. Especially, quickly, for those who know reason why he cast Tom Welling, because, Tom Welling was Superman back in the day on Smallville. technically Clark Kent, the Blur, but
The
Jensen
Blur.
Ackles was dating his girlfriend Lana Lang.
That's fair. That's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, getting away from that, the zombies start attacking them. They and this is where John Nancy he takes one out. He's like, "Oh, cool! I took one out with a pipe," and then another one jumps and tackles him. Mary throws the knife. And it hits the zombie in the face. He gets sprayed with blood. A little bit gets in his mouth. He's spitting out. And so they're playing keeping with the humor, where Gene would do that, and then Sam would always get sprayed in the face. So I do like they're keeping the humor.
So I want to go ahead and address.
It's not Samuel Kent. It's Samuel Campbell. Did I say Kent? I'm my bad.
Yeah.
Who cares? He's a sink. It's Clark Kent.
Anyway, I was saying,
but it is weird though. You think about it though, casting Tom Welling to play Samuel Campbell when it was actually Skinner from X-Files.
Well, he's busy.
Well, I'm just saying he's too old to play a prequel.
Actually, no, he looks exactly the same. Like that's the biggest flub up. In the episode in Supernatural when they go to the past and
I know.
Samuel Campbell, he looks exactly the same.
Not anymore though.
Not anymore. Now he looks like Tom Welling.
Anyway, so getting on with the episode here, they
hippies.
They're basically they find before we get to the hippie and the cult and all that stuff, she finds her father's shotgun shells marked, with SC on it. So she's like, well, yeah, my father, he's here. He was here. He must have got the stuff, they're looking for the files, and he left on one of the zombies was a knife in it with an article from a newspaper, and it's talking about over in Topeka, Kansas. I think it's Topeka, Kansas. They had to go to the cult area.
Yeah.
Yes. They had to basically join this little cult area, and the funny part is they all start singing back in the Metal Letters place. They're singing the Age of Aquarius song because Carlos, being a druggie, he's like, yeah, I get to go to a cult place where everybody has sex and and smokes.
You could just say that it's a hippie community, Froggy. You don't have to go into the details of the hippies.
I'm going knee deep in it.
Oh no.
And Teach Your Children Well is the name of this episode because, well, the monster of the week is a plant demon.
Who feeds on your childhood mommy and daddy issues?
Yeah, well, yeah, they're all, because the cult leader there, who basically has this little, I guess a Celtic, symbol. They think he's a mimic, a shapeshifter. Turns out they're wrong. After Lanica and they finds that guy goes missing.
Purple plants.
They basically talk to the girl, and then where the guy went missing, and because basically we see the guy get pulled in the ground. The vines come out of the person that looks like his dad, pulls him into the ground, and then they flowers grow up. She takes a flower. She calls Ada. Is it Ava or Ada? Ada, who's basically in the secret part of the Metal Letters bunker that no one else knows about, was doing some studying and stuff, and she basically says, she basically says, I've heard this plan. It's usually in South America, and then and she basically Latica or Latika, whatever you prefer, I don't
Lottie.
She is pretty much the Samuel Winchester of this group, Scooby-Doo group, or the Velma, if you prefer.
She's doing the research. She's studying.
She's all excited to do all the research. She's constantly that. There's even a scene at the end of the show where Carlos wants to help her pizza and drops the pizza on her book, and she gets irritated. So I mean, they're a cute little bunch of friends. They obviously they tolerate each other for the most point. But anyway, getting back to that. So apparently this creature, they think it's a mimic, but it turns out, that it's actually, it appears as your parent or your sibling. Not a sibling, but and it scolds you and it basically pulls you into the ground. That's the whole trick of it. So But it turns out, she learns, Latika learns that this creature pretty much used to be a real person that basically took her children into the house, and then basically she was upset that her children misbehaved, and she pretty much killed them. She turned them into fertilizer for her plants. When it was found out, she was pretty much cursed, or like I guess, and doesn't explain how she got the freaking to like this part of the country, like this part of the world. But overall, John, because they think it's a mimic, they kill a mimic is copper. John goes back. He volunteers to go back to the cheap motel there. He's approached by someone that looks. They think it's his mother. Turns out it's not his mother because they make the flub up talking about Samuel, Campbell and Mary and stuff, which he's never talked to his mother about. And John goes to basically to fight it, but it overpowers him strength and then pulls him into the floor. All that's left there on the floor of the motel as everyone else gets there is that flowers again. Mary apologizes. Carlos makes a joke about the great Mary Campbell actually apologizing for something. Holy shit. Then after that, pretty much they track it by following the purple flowers in the woods, which leads to where John is wrapped up in the vines. He frees another person.
Taken by Plant Mommy.
Yeah, Plant Mommy. And then they realize the only way to kill Plant Mommy is pretty much to stab her with a part of her own magic. And which they do. John kicks her leg out. She falls over. Mary comes up, stabs her with a bone. And then the goo comes out, and John gets sprayed again. Poor John. He's pretty much the Shaggy of the group. The vines come out, pulls the monster into the ground. Now, I want to point out something. Normally, in the first few seasons of Supernatural, they went for like people with makeup and monsters, like the monsters. Later and then afterwards, they just basically made everyone look like a human, which is the best part. They're going really strong with the CG, which kind of worries me because I don't really want it better be good CG. I do not want to have Supergirl CG stuff.
Yeah. So no, the CGI and the it's a little rough, but it's not terrible. Also, can't they use Roundup on Plant Mommy? But also with I'd be interested in seeing the process they use to make those zombies because those are truly impressive. The team behind the show should pat themselves on the back for that because they look awesome.
They made it so that the jaws, even Latika pointed out, she's holding one of the dead ones.
Detaches.
She's like, it's dead. She's like checking for a pulse. It's dead. And
dead.
She pulls the jaw. She's like, oh, fascinating. The jaw opens up wider for larger bites. So anyway, at the end of this, I guess I'm trying to remember what the name of the people, the bad guy they're trying to stop.
Yeah, they went ahead and they've made some kind of villain for them to fight.
The Krita. That's what it is.
Krita, yeah. I'm not interested in it yet. However, at the end of the episode, whenever after John gets to patch things up with his mom, they go ahead and hint at a cult lady that's out in the forest at the end.
Walking around, and she goes up where the Plant Mommy, you call her, but actually her name is Latundra. And ironically, I was talking to Puppetine before this, we went live. Latundra, as I was looking up on folklore, is actually a loving, peaceful spirit. Not in this case. She's a bitch.
No, in this case, Plant Mommy is.
Krita. So basically, her spirit, the glow, is put in basically a perfume bottle. The mysterious lady in the purple robe, going to watch. What was it? What was the Tom Cruise movie that Rob likes?
The Tom Cruise
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, geez, like that.
And you see her walking, and then these goblin little creatures crawling around, like werewolf goblins, following her, and it's I don't have the screenshot, but they show an overhead view, and they just show us this like a bunch of like 5 to 10 of them just going around, running around, chasing her. They're kind of like shadow creatures, so they might be like imps. I'm not sure, but whatever, goblins. But
Goblins,
now I want
ghouls.
to point out though, this is making me want to go watch Constantine again, because that was the Bruja, where pretty much where the big bad guys coming forth.
But what
Yeah,
about Brouhaha?
that's in the 80s, bro.
I know. I overall, this episode isn't bad. It's not. I think it's kind of. I think it's having those supernatural finding its footing kind of issues. It's not landing altogether with me yet. I don't dislike it, but I'm not a big fan.
I'm loving it.
I'm glad you're loving it, Froggy. But
I
know
am
that's
too,
why.
because I don't care about you. I love it.
That's why we have the both of us here, because we can differ on opinions and discuss it. But
Yes.
overall, it's still worth maybe checking out. If you're a fan of Supernatural, there's a good chance that you are going to be able to find your way to enjoying this. I'm not a fan. I'm still not a fan of the retcons until it's addressed.
Yes,
but I know we have to wait until the end of the season for that.
Yes. They said they addressed it at the New York Comic Con. They said as far as the retcons, not until episode 13 we learn everything.
Okay.
Basically, the season finale.
I'm going to
right around there. But
that is
so this episode. I apologize.
You want to say it's fine.
This episode we learned that basically, that Carlos really loves Crosby, Still and Nash. He's usually a solo player. So they use a lot of musical band references, which we learn where Dean gets from, apparently because Dean likes to use those, in Supernatural. Also, they played the song Americana from Supernatural. It was used in Supernatural Swan Song. They play that 3 times in this own episode.
It's like it's their go-to for this. I think that maybe we'll have to wait and see how it turns out as far as addressing the story changes.
But there is one great thing they brought back though, that the brothers always did in every episode when they had to go investigate. They had to go undercover. Mary and John had to go undercover as college students. They got fake ideas from Carlos, and John's name was Mick Fleetwood.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, there was no pie in this episode.
Yes. Yeah. I guess apparently though there's some by doing that though. A lot, I guess there's errors, or I guess chronological timeline errors, because there's no way that they're basically the whole thing it says about up until the mid 70s, Fleetwood Mac was an obscure British blues band. So what this is supposed to take the 70s. So Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham didn't join until 1974, and then their CD didn't come out to 1977. So there's no way John would have never heard of Mick Fleetwood in 1972. So that's their one flub. But other than that, though, I'm loving that Jensen Ackles is still doing the narrating in the beginning. I'm sad we didn't get to see him at the end. No.
Yeah, I expected him at the end. It was weird. Just a little word of
I just like tail skipper, and that's a tale for next time. Close the book.
I didn't mean that, but maybe.
I want that.
But, overall, solid episode. But we want to hear your thoughts. So make sure, if you're watching the show, to comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And that's about it for the Winchesters. So thank you so much for watching. For Froggy and me, see you next time. Goodbye.
Stay out of the woods, or Plant Mommy's going to get you.
Oh, I'm going in the woods right now.
Jinkies.